best son any man could hope for.
Unfortunately, I can't predict the writer's habits and their future, but I think that anytime that you experience tragic loss of that level, and it's not just him anymore, you know, it's Sarah, and Sarah's lost her father, and Ward has gone from being a villain to a hero, and he dies a hero's death. And so going through that, I think there's now this newfound trust in one another to make the decision collectively and not just as a singular individual, and that goes for the entirety of the Pogues. So I would like to think that there's going to be quite a bit of hesitation of jumping back into a world where they've lost a lot.
You forget that I know you.
The whole relationship is so complicated and so complex, but I think, you know, at the end of the day, Ward is still her father, and I think it's kind of like this hollow pain that she has. She just keeps getting hurt time and time again, and like after a while being hurt so many times, you just kind of start to expect it. And then the one time that she really, really needed him to show up for her without any sort of conditions ended up being the finale and ended up being the end of his life. That just kind of brought it like full circle. You know, he did love her even though he was flawed. And I think that kind of the reaction we got from Sarah, for me, it was just kind of like this, you know, it was devastation, but also kind of like this release of all the emotion, the pent-up emotion and betrayal that she felt from him, and him finally showing up even though he's done so much bad. Really complex, like a really, really long journey she's been on with her dad, and just like trying to approach it with empathy, even though he's such a flawed human.
I need you to go live your life in Guadalupe.
I mean, how much more gasoline can you pour on the fire? You know, it's like, God. You already see Rafe in the season kind of practicing that independence. You know, he's in waters that he's never been in before. So he knows the feeling, but it was of his own volition in a way. So, you know, when things in Rafe's world are taken away from him very abruptly, he in the past has not reacted in the best of ways. So
You do anything to him, I swear to God I'll find you.
who knows? I mean, maybe he'll find peace with it, or maybe it will be much more destructive.
You know the No Love Club?
Yeah.
I quit.
Originally, me and JD were like, we feel like our characters have reached the point where now they've been through enough where they trust each other.
These last few months with you showed me something different.
So I think that Cleo hasn't really experienced love in that way, or people that care for her in that way, in which she doesn't have anything to give them back. Her relationship with Terrence and Stubbs was more like, you know, I give you something, you give me something. But with Pope, it's literally nothing but love and home and finding comfort in someone who really cares about you beyond the surface and sees through your tough facade.
You know, Pope's coming off of being kind of like, when it comes to love, like, obviously it did not work out the last time he did it. And, you know, it's another person who is in his friend group, so he probably doesn't really want to tap into that anymore. That's why, you know, he joins the No Love Club. It's why he tries to focus on school and lacrosse, because he doesn't really want to tap into that side of himself. And I think, you know, when he gets to this really low place this season, you know, when he loses as much as he does, and when somebody loses all that, you know, it's like, who can you lean on? And, you know, all his friends are doing other things, and so she is there for him to support him emotionally. And, you know, I think he realized he doesn't really see it until, you know, she basically up and confesses. Like, you know, they kind of find solace in each other, and it's a really mature moment for Pope to kind of like move on from that hurt, you know, and move on from like a childhood crush and like actually like be in a genuinely mutual relationship with somebody, you know? It's like, I wonder what that's gonna be like.